Welcome back. This is episode 4 and we're doing the planting out. We're planting out what we've grown from seed, which we collected from gum nuts. So I've already done part of a row over there, and if you can just pan across and see that, you'll see they're about 4 meters apart. So I'm just going to have rows of these trees. I want them spaced out evenly so I can slash or cut this area later on. So these are the tools. I've got the tree guard, the stake, a little darling to plant here. I've got my little axe, my shovel just to clear a bit of space, and I've got the Hamilton. This is made in Hamilton, Victoria. That's why it's named a Hamilton. But you'll see this up close. You can borrow these from Landcare, or you can, sometimes neighbours have got them, or whatever. But what it is, it's designed so that it lifts out the soil for the same shape of the tube. So different diggers apply to different types of tubes. But if you go for the standard one, this should do the trick. So to start off with, I'm just going to, I want to line it up with the other one over there, and I'm just going to clear. What I like to do, I mean, you don't have to do this, but I just like to go around first and clear a bit of a space around where I'm going to plant. Right, so now I'm going to get, it's always, this is like a pogo stick, but it's always best to do it from uphill rather than being on the other side of the slope. So you just put all your weight on it like that, wiggle it around a bit to loosen the soil. So if you just like to come in here and see what I'm doing here. So that's just loosening the soil. I'm putting all my weight down to about the full depth. Then I'm going to carefully pull it up very slowly, because I want to use this. I want to use this soil. Now, what I'll do is I'll get down. Here's our little plant. What I like to do is, first of all, take a bit of this soil that's been in here, just empty that out near where you're going to plant, and I'd just like to break some up and put some of the surrounding soil down the bottom, just to, if you can see down there, I've just done that so that it's not, because sometimes you want the roots all covered. Now with this little plant, what you do is you've got to tease it out like this. Now you don't want the soil to be too dry, or it'll just be like dust. And you don't want it too wet, or it's it's not easy to work with. It's just too muddy. So then you tease it out. Use gravity. Okay, whoops, probably a bit too much there. That's not one of my best ones. But then you fill in around the soil, and you use what you've dug out. So if you could see how I'm just putting the soil around it. You don't want it too deep, but it is going to, the soil will settle, so it'll sink a bit. Okay, so that's in place. So next thing I do, I've got the stake. You want to point the stake in the direction of the prevailing wind, so it protects the little darling as much as possible. So just put it in like that. I've got my handy little axe here. I used to use a big one, but it's hard to be really accurate, so I'll just, now it's always good to wear gloves because there are splinters on this stuff, and you don't want to splinter, of course. Bang, it goes in. So that's pretty firm. That's not going to blow away. I should say we're planting early August, so it's the soil's nice and moist. you don't want to be doing this when the soil's rock hard. Next is the tree guard. That's got two things like that. There's all different types of stakes, all sorts of different tree guards. I like these ones. You just push it in like that, and there's two holes, and they fit over. If you could just come close over here, and you'll see looking down how that slides. Just slides down like that. Alright, and it goes all the way down. And what I like to do is, of course, you've got to make sure the tree's tucked in, and it goes like that. These always reuse what you've got. So that's how you put something in. I like to not do too many in a day, because if you do too many in a day, you get slack with your technique. So it's always good to have a break. I think 50 a day is pretty. It takes about, well, you saw how long it took me to do this. It takes about 5 minutes. 5 minutes for each one. But we'll come back and examine these later on. But I'll show you how I go planting this area. We're reclaiming this area. These are all native, all grown from seed collected on the property, so they'll have a good chance of surviving here. And this isn't a wet gum, wet feet. With the gullies, I plant trees that are suited, don't mind wet feet. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope it gives you some inspiration. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for episode 5 when we recap and we look at some of the plants that we put in. Thank you and good luck with it. The three main problems are weeds, lack of water, and rabbits and other animals. I have about a 50% survival rate with minimal intervention. So I go back and replace the plants that didn't make it, and so it's a constant renewal